What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our Big 12 football channel. We're going to kick off our top 10 player rankings with the Texas Longhorns. So in this video, we're going to predict which 10 players will be the best players, the most productive players, the players that will have the biggest impact on the 2019 season for the Texas Longhorns. And you'll notice in this video that most of them are on offense because they lost a lot from defense, especially in the front seven. That's going to be a big question mark for them. But offensively, we know they are loaded with talent, and they're going to be one of the top offenses, not just in the Big 12, but probably in the country. And we start with number 10. I wanted to put him on the list, even though we still don't know for sure if he'll be eligible, and that's Bru McCoy. He was the number one athlete in the 2019 recruiting class. He's projected to play at receiver for them. I believe he's already been going through spring practice, but I haven't heard anything about his status. Don't know if he'll be eligible, but obviously when you're talking about the number one athlete in the country, you got a guy that is going to be very talented and a guy that should make an impact for this team right away. So Bru McCoy is at number 10, and we got another true freshman at number 9, and that is Jordan Whittington. He was the number 2 athlete in the 2019 class. So they got the number 1 and number 2 athlete. According to 24/7 Sports, he's projected to play at running back, and that's where he played a lot of the spring. I heard great things about him, his explosiveness, and his ability to play that running back position. Also, I've heard that they might use him in the slot a little bit as a slot receiver. So we'll see. You know, they're still trying to figure things like that out, and we may not know it for sure until the season gets here. But he's definitely a guy that can make an impact for this offense and maybe be that number 2 running back. At number 8, yeah, we got a kicker on here. How about Cameron Dicker? Dicker the kicker. 18 of 25 last season on his field goals, but also 8 of 13 from 40 plus. He had a 52-yarder, I believe, is what I saw when looking at the stats. So you're talking about a kid that is pretty consistent and can make the big kicks as well. I'm talking about the long kicks, and that can make a huge difference in a game when you're in that gray area of kicking a field goal or punting. Anytime you got a kicker that you can trot out there and make a long field goal and get 3 points instead of punting, that could be a big deal, especially in the Big 12, and you need every point that you can get. At number 7, we've got Keaontay Ingram. Should be the starting running back, should carry the workload in 2019. He ran for over 700 yards last year, 170 yards receiving, had 5 total touchdowns. He didn't begin the season as the starter, so imagine if he had played all year. He probably would have been a 1,000-yard rusher. Really came on for them the second half of the year and developed into a really, really good running back. And that's what Texas needs. They need a little bit more balance, and I think they're going to get it in 2019. At number 6, we've got Devin Duvernay, wide receiver. 41 catches last year, 546 yards, 4 touchdowns. LJ Humphrey now is gone, so that leaves a spot open for a guy to step up and maybe make some more catches. I think Duvernay is the guy to do that. Again, you add Bru McCoy in there as well if he's eligible, and all of a sudden you've got a very, very good receiving core here at Texas, and we haven't even named the number 1 guy. He'll see him here in just a second. But yeah, Duvernay could be set for a big, big year in 2019. At number 5, we've got Brandon Jones, the safety. Safety is the one position where this Texas defense should be pretty good. Actually, should be great. Brandon Jones, 70 tackles last year, 5.5 tackles for loss. He had an interception, had a pass breakup, and again was one of the leaders for this defense. He's back, and he's not the only safety that you're going to see on this list. So you talk about the safety position on defense, they're set there. They just need to find the rest of the guys, the rest of their positions, need to fill the holes there, and we'll see if they're able to do that. Well, let's move on now to number 4, and that's Zach Shackelford on the offensive line. Last year, he was all Big 12 first team, and I think the AP had him first team, the coaches had him second team, or it may have been the other way around. Anyways, we're talking about a really good football player, decided to come back this season, and I think he's going to be the leader for them on the offensive line, the best offensive lineman on this team, and we talked about that earlier. They've got to find a run game and gets a little bit more balance on offense, and I think Shackelford blocking is going to be a big key for them, along with the rest of the guys on that offensive line. And here's our other receiver. It's Collin Johnson. He's going to be the go-to guy this season. 68 catches last year, 985 yards receiving, 7 touchdowns. With Humphrey gone, I think Collin Johnson goes over 1,000 yards this season, and maybe with a great year could get into the top or the first round of the NFL draft. I mean, this guy has a lot of talent, and I think he projects well at the next level. So yes, Collin Johnson I think will be the go-to receiver for Sam Ehlinger in this Texas offense. But at number 2, we go back to defense, and that is Caden Sterns. We talked about the safety position just a second ago. Well, Sterns I think is the best safety on this team, and I'm expecting him to have a big year, an All-American type, maybe even a first-team All-American type season. 62 tackles for him last year. He had 3 tackles for loss, 4 interceptions, also broke up 4 passes, had 4 passes defended. So the stats are there. Very talented player, still young, still getting better, and he could be really special for this Texas defense. But at number 1, it's the quarterback. It's Sam Ehlinger. Threw for over 3,000 yards last year, 482 yards rushing, 41 total touchdowns. Again, I think a lot of people are overlooking him. They think he's overrated. I disagree. You look at his efficiency as a passer. He is a very good passing quarterback. And then you add in what he can do on the ground, especially in the goal line. He's a tough runner. If he can stay healthy, Sam Ehlinger, I think, is a legitimate Heisman contender, and I think he's the best player on this Texas defense. I'd love to get your thoughts. Texas fans, where did I mess it up? Who would you change? Who would you add? Who would you take away? Anything you want to add to this video, feel free to do that. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for more here on the SG1 Sports Big 12 Football Channel.